Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, honorable adjudicators, and all debaters present today. Welcome to this British parliamentary debate. My name is Sally, and I will be serving as the chair for this round. Allow me to introduce our panel of adjudicators who will be judging this debate, Ega and Fareza. They will be responsible for assessing the team's arguments, manner, and strategy throughout the round. The motions for today's debate is this House believes that universities should replace traditional exams with continuous project-based assessment. We have four teams competing in this debate. In opening government, we have Wafa and Zada. In opening oppositions, we have Risha. In closing government, we have Aul and Yosi. And in closing oppositions, we have Dimas and Stanik. Each speaker will have 7 minutes to deliver their speech. Without further ado, I would like to invite the Prime Minister to open the case for the government bench. Prime Minister, the time is yours.
Thank you, Chair. Good evening, everyone. As the Prime Minister, I'm here to support the idea that universities should replace traditional exam with continuous project-based assessments. Before I move on, let me define a few key terms in this motion. By traditional exams, we mean the usual written or online tests taken at the end of a semester, where students have limited time to answer questions. By continuous project-based assessments, we mean ongoing evaluations through projects, reports, presentations, or teamwork done throughout the course. Our timeline is simple. Project-based assessments measure real understanding, skills, and effort more effectively than traditional exams do. I'll present 3 points in my speech today. First, educational effectiveness. Second, real-world preparation, and the third, fairness and well-being. So the first one, educational effectiveness. Traditional exam mostly test short-term memory. Students usually study only to pass the test, then forget most of it after. On the other hand, project-based assessments encourage students to actually apply what they learn. When you create, research, or present something, you understand it more deeply. For example, instead of writing about theories of communication in an exam, a student might create a real communication campaign. That way, the learning process become active, not passive. This kind of learning sticks longer and builds critical thinking. So my second point, real-world preparation. Universities are supposed to prepare students for the real world, for work, innovation, and collaboration. But in reality, no company will ever ask you to sit down for 2 hours and write an essay without notes. What they care about is how you solve problems, manage time, and work in a team. Exactly what project-based assessments train you to do. It helps students build practical skills like planning, communication, and creativity. So this approach is not just about getting grades, it's about becoming capable professionals. And my last point, fairness and well-being. Traditional exams create a huge stress. Many students experience anxiety or panic during exam season, even if they have studied well. Project-based assessments reduce that pressure because evaluation happens gradually. Moreover, continuous projects can reflect students' consistent effort over time, not just one day's performance. It's fair for those who might not perform well under time pressure but are hardworking and creative. To sum up, replacing traditional exams with continuous project-based assessment leads to better learning, better preparation for real life, and a fairer system for students. University should aim to develop people who can think, create, and apply knowledge, not just memorize it. For these reasons, I'm proud to propose this motion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Wafa, for your speech. Now, to continue the debate, leader of oppositions, Risia, the time is yours.
Okay, so thank you, Chair. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable adjudicators and respected members of the House, good evening. As the leader of opposition, I stand firmly against this motion. We believe that traditional exams should not be replaced because they remain the most reliable, objective, and standardized way to evaluate students in universities. Instead of abolishing them, universities can complement exams with projects, but never replace them entirely. The first one, traditional exams ensure that every student is judged by the same question, the same time limit, and the same criteria. This provides fairness and comparability, essential for large-scale institutions. Project-based systems, however, rely on subjective grading. Students at different levels of support, face unequal group dynamics, or benefit from external help. The result? A grading system that is inconsistent and prone to favoritism. So the impact is, without exams, universities lose a standardized benchmark for competence, making academic evaluation unfair and unreliable. The second, continuous projects often involve long take-home tasks. That gives room for outsourcing, plagiarisms, and AI-assisted work, all of which reduce the credibility of university degrees. Exams, on the other hand, test students' real-time understanding and independent thinking. A student who can write a clear answer under pressure demonstrates genuine mastery of the subject. So the impact is, exams protect the integrity of academic achievement, while projects risk turning education into a competition of resources and connections. And the third one, not every subject fits project-based learning. Imagine testing medical students or law students through projects. It would take enormous time, supervision, and administrative resources. Exams provide a quite cost-effective and scalable method for universities with thousands of students. The impact is removing exams would overload lecturers, slow grading, and make university management inefficient. So for the rebuttal, government says projects are fairer because they reduce anxiety. But fairness isn't about comfort. It's about equal conditions. Exams treat everyone equally. Projects don't. And the second, on skills, universities already include group work, presentations, and internships. That doesn't mean we should remove exams entirely. Both systems can coexist. And the third one, about the real world relevance, the real world also requires meeting deadlines, performing under stress, and thinking fast, all of which exams train. In conclusion, the government wants a system that sounds progressive but ignores the practicality and fairness that exams ensure. We, the opposition, believe the traditional exams remain essential to maintain objectivity, academic integrity, and efficiency. That's why we strongly oppose this motion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Risa, for your speech. Next, for the Deputy Prime Minister, Zada, the time is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity. Good evening, everyone. As the Deputy Prime Minister, I am here to strengthen and extend the case brought by my Prime Minister. Our stance remains clear. Universities should replace traditional exams with continuous project-based assessments because this approach builds deeper understanding, stronger real-world skills, and a fairer learning environment. In my speech today, I will reinforce our team's case, respond to possible opposition arguments, and present to new extensions. The development of long-term learning skills and the encouragement of innovation and collaboration. First, let's clarify and strengthen our argument. The opposition may claim that exams are more objective and efficient to grade. However, this belief is outdated. In modern education, objectivity is not about grading speed, but about accurately measuring learning outcomes. Exams only measure how well students can memorize and recall information. Information under pressure, not their true understanding. Project-based assessments, although requiring more time to upgrade, provide a more comprehensive view of students' abilities, such as research, teamwork, communication, and creativity, all of which are more relevant to future success. Moreover, with today's technology and clear rubrics, project assessments can be just as standardized and rare as traditional tests. Now, for my first extension, project-based assessment can help students develop long-term learning skills. Traditional exams promote what psychologists call surface learning, where students only study to pass and quickly forget afterward. In contrast, continuous projects encourage deep learning, the ability to apply, connect, and reflect on knowledge throughout the semester. This process teaches discipline, consistency, and adaptability, which are essential for lifelong learning. It trains students to think critically and solve problems over time, turning education into a continuous journey rather than a one-time test. My second extension is about innovation and collaboration. Traditional exams isolate students while project-based assessments allow creativity and teamwork to flourish. In the real world, people rarely work alone. Engineers, researchers, and professionals all collaborate to solve complex problems. By engaging in group projects like presentations, students learn to communicate ideas, share responsibilities, and integrate different perspectives. This prepares this prepares them for the collaborative nature of modern workplaces. Additionally, project-based learning encourages innovation because it allows students to express understanding through unique outputs, like creating campaigns, models, and reports that reflect their creativity and genuine interest. To conclude, our site has demonstrated that project-based assessments are not only more effective and fair, but also better for long-term learning and real-world preparation. The Prime Minister has shown that they measure understanding and reduce stress, while I have added that they foster continuous learning. Creativity and teamwork. Traditional exams belong to an outdated system based on memorization and pressure, while project-based assessments represent a modern, human-centered approach to education. For all these reasons, we strongly believe that universities should replace traditional exams with continuous project-based assessments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Zada, for your speech. Now, next, for Deputy Leader of Opposition, Risha, the time is yours.
Thank you so much, Honorable Panel. Moving on to the Deputy Leader of Opposition, I'm going to strengthen our bench, bring additional reasoning, and rebut the new points from the Member of Government. The first one, exams push students to study consistently and thoroughly, knowing that they will be tested individually. Project-based systems might cause uneven participation. Some students carry the workload while others do minimal effort. With exams, accountability is personal and clear. Every student earns their grade through their own performance. For the impact, exams ensure discipline, self-reliance, and academic honesty. And the second one, the government demonizes stress as something negative, but not at all pressure is harmful. The ability to stay calm, organized, and analytical under pressure is crucial for real world success, especially in medicine, law, and business. Exams simulate these real life demands far better than long term projects. For the impact is, exams teach resilience and mental strength, qualities employers actually value. Talking about the member of government state exams only test short team memory, false. Many exams are now essay-based or open book, testing reasoning, not memorization. And the second one, member of government state projects are inclusive, yet projects often privilege students with better access to resources, better equipment, or more free time. That's the real inequality. And then the last one, member of government glorified real-world simulation, but universities are not workplaces, they're academic institutions, designed to assess knowledge, not corporate teamwork. Let's weigh both sides. The government offers an idealistic vision that's untested, subjective, and unscalable, while the opposition provides realistic, reliable, and time-proven mechanisms that that, that protect academic credibility. Exams ensure individual accountability, fairness, and intellectual rigor, values that universities must uphold. So, in the end, education is not about comfort or convenience, it's about credibility, merit, and fairness. Continuous assessment can support learning, but it should never replace exams entirely. That is why we, the opposition bench, proudly and confidently reject this motion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Risha, for your speech. Next, for the member of government, Aulia, the time is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity. Honorable judges, respected chair, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. As the closing government team, we strongly support the motion that universities should replace traditional exams with continuous project-based assessments. Our team has already presented many reasons why this is a better way to evaluate students. Now, we will add strong evidence from recent studies that show project-based learning improves student achievement and motivation. A study at STKI PGRI Pontianak found that students who learned with project-based learning had significantly better exam scores than those taught with traditional methods. Their learning achievement improved by over 7 points on average, with strong statistical support showing this difference is real and meaningful. Another research on vocational high school students using project-based learning with Android apps shows that students scored 81 on average in post-test compared to 77 for traditional classes. This proves that project helps students learn better even in technical subjects. Benefits for student motivation and engagement. Research published in Frontiers in Psychology reviewed over 60 studies on project-based learning and found that this method greatly boosts students' motivation and positive feelings about learning. Students involved in projects feel more responsible for their work and get continuous feedback. This keeps them interested and reduces last-minute cramming stress common in exams. Building real-world skills. Projects encourage teamwork, communication, research, and problem solving. The National Association of College and Employers says employers want these skills most in new graduates. Project-based assessment allows students to practice these skills naturally by combining many disciplines into one task, better preparing them for future careers. Addressing concerns. While traditional exams may seem easier to grade, clear guidelines and technology tools can make project assessment fair and transparent. Group projects include individual parts and peer review to ensure every student contributes fairly. The data and research confirm that continuous project-based assessments improve learning outcomes, motivate students, and develop important real-world skills. For this reason, our team strongly affirms this motion. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Aulia, for your speech. Next, for the member of opposition, Dimas, the time is yours.
Thank you, Chair. Respect judges and everyone in the House. As the member of opposition, I'm stand against the idea that university should replace traditional exam with the with project-based assessment. First, traditional exam ensure fairness. Every student answer the same question at the same time in the same place. This makes the results more equal and objective. In project-based system, some students may get help from others or face equal group situation, which makes the result less fair. Okay, second, exam train important skills. They help students to focus, manage their time, and stay calm under pressure. These are useful abilities for future jobs where quick thinking and responsibility are often needed. Third, some subjects really need exam. For example, in medicine, mathematics, or law, accuracy and understanding of theory are very important. Project cannot fully test this kind of knowledge. Exam make sure each student truly understand the basic concept on their own. Next, exam give a clear structure to learning. Students know when to prepare and when to perform. Meanwhile, continuous project can sometimes cause constant stress because deadline and the group work never stop. In conclusion, traditional exams are still need. They are fair, build discipline, and make sure knowledge clearly. University can combine exam and the project, but they shall not replace exam completely. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dimas, for your speech. Next, for the government whip, Yossi, the time is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity. As the government whip, I'm here to summarize our side's case, respond to the opposition, and show why the government clearly wins this debate. Our Prime Minister explained that exams mostly test short-term memory, while project measure real understanding, creativity, and effort. She also said that project-based learning prepares students better for real-world problem solving. Then our Deputy Prime Minister added that continuous project-based assessment reduce stress, promote fairness, and help students build long-term learning habits. She also mentioned that project-based work builds teamwork, innovation, and practical skills, things exams cannot measure. Together, both have shown that project-based learning creates better student, better outcomes, and fairer education system. Now let's respond what the opposition might say. They might argue that exams are more objective and efficient, but being fast to grade doesn't mean being fair. Exams only measure how well students memorize facts or perform under pressure, not real skills or understanding. The opposition might also say project allow lazy group member or unequal work, but this problem can be solved easily. Many universities like National University of Singapore and University of Melbourne already use peer evaluation and clear grading rubrics to make group work fair. So that's not a reason to reject project-based learning. It's just about managing it well. And research support our side. A Stanford University study 2024 found that students in project-based program were 14% more like to remember what they learned compared to those in exam-based system. A University of Cambridge survey 2023 showed that 70% of students said exam caused high stress, while 82 said project-based assessment helped their confidence and teamwork. This proves that project-based system don't just reduce pressure. They build a stronger learning and collaboration skills. Our side wins for three main reasons. First, project-based assessment helps students understand and apply knowledge deeply. Second, they prepare students in real life, where teamwork, creativity, and problem-solving matter more than memorizing. Third, they are fair and healthier, measuring consistent effort rather than one-time performance. So, ladies and gentlemen, exams belong to the past. They measure memory and create stress. Project-based assessment belong to future. They build creativity, skills, and confidence. For all these reasons, we on the government side broadly support the motion. Universities should replace traditional exam with continuous project-based assessment. Thank you.
Thank you, UC, for your speech. Next, for the opposition whip, Stanek, the time is yours.
Thank you for the opportunity and good evening, everyone. As the opposition whip, I stand to summarize and reinforce why our team firmly believes that universities should not replace traditional exams with continuous project-based assessment. First, on fairness and standardization, traditional exam, though imperfect, provide a uniform and controlled environment to evaluate all students equally. Everyone faces the same question, the same time limit, and the same grading criteria. Project-based assessment, on the other hand, introduce variable, unequal access to resources, varying a group dynamics, and differing level of guidance from mentors. This external factor make result less about individual competence and more about circumstance. Second, on academic integrity, in project-based system, it becomes significantly harder to ensure the originality of work. Students can collaborate excessively, outsource tasks, or use AI tools to an extent that blur authorship. Exams, by contrast, access a student's real-time understanding and independent thinking under pressure, something that is crucial in higher education and professional life. And the third, on skill balance. Our opponents glorify project-based learning as more practical, but they overlook that critical thinking under pressure, time management, and concept mastery are also essential skills that exam could cultivate. Replacing exam entirely risks producing graduates who can collaborative, but not necessarily think critically on their own. The ideal approach is integration, not replacement. Combine exam and project to measure both theoretical understanding and applied skill. So, in the conclusion, while we acknowledge the value of project-based learning, abolishing traditional exam would undermine fairness, integrity, and the rigor of university assessment. We must reform, not replace. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Stanek, for your speech, and thank you to all speakers for your insightful speeches. That concludes the debates for the motion. This House believes that universities should replace traditional exams with continuous project-based assessment. We will now give the adjudicators a few moments to deliberate and decide the result.
Thank you, Chair, for the opportunity, and thank you, everyone, for the debate. First of all, I would like to say thank you to all of debaters for your hard work and participation in this round. It was a very engaging and informative discussion. Now I will deliver some brief feedback for each speakers. For Prime Minister, your pronunciation was very clear and your arguments were well delivered with relevant example. The structure was easy to follow and your stance was clear from the beginning. Excellent job setting the tone for the government side. For leader of opposition, your pronunciation was also very good and your delivery was confident. You provided strong examples and a clear rebuttal to the government's point. Overall, your performance was persuasive and well balanced between argumentation and refutation. For Deputy Prime Minister, you presented your arguments and rebuttals well. However, in future debates, you could make your points more focused and emphasize them more clearly for stronger impact. A bit more stress on keywords would make your delivery even better. For Deputy Leader of Opposition, you gave sufficient rebuttals and delivered very strong arguments. The development of your case was clear and logical. Great job continuing the opposition line and maintaining clarity throughout. For the member of government, your argumentation was solid and delivered well. For improvement, you might consider adjusting your speaking tempo. Slowing down slightly could help make your points more impactful and easier for the audience to follow. For a member of opposition, you had good arguments and maintained logical flow. However, you can still improve your pronunciation for smoother delivery. With clearer articulation, Your ideas will sound more convincing. That's all from me, and I will hand over the rest for the feedback and decision to the other adjudicators, EGA. Thank you.
Okay. So first of all, thank you for your speaker and the chair for a very interesting and insightful debates. So I will continue about feedback to your debaters. So for your government week, so for your pronunciation clear and pace of speaking is good. And but it's still neat and the performance and intonations could be more energetic, but the content is but the your delivery is good. So the last is opposition lead. Your delivery of the content is well, but something missing of the pronunciation, some word or sentence, and also you need any performance or intonation could be more energetic. So, after carefully listening to all eight speakers, considering their arguments, rebuttals, and analysis, here's the final result. The first place goes to OG, Opposition Governments, and the second place go to CG, and the third place is OO, and the last place is CO. So, thank you for your insightful. Thank you.
Okay, once again, thank you everyone for your participation and attention throughout the debate. This debate is now officially closed. Thank you.